Okay, so let us start now. So basically, this total stations is basically used for construction and as well as for the land surveying. So, so in the land surveying, mainly you can do with topographical survey, coordinate measurements, boundary survey, cadastral surveys, area calculations, cross section surveys. So these are all the applications which you can able to perform with land surveying. And if you go for the constructions, you can go with mainly for the setting out work. So setting out work only for marking the points in the field. So that purpose mainly construction field people will use the total station. So now I will start with the physical appearance of the total stations. So mainly the total station has the handle portion, then advanced EDM portions built in with the telescope, and then the USB ports for data communication from the memory from the total station to PC. Then another option called guide light. So this is the guide light functions will be provided over here, and this is mainly useful when you do for the setting out work. And then we have a rechargeable battery compartment, so the instrument will operate with the battery. So this is the slots will be provided over here, built-in battery. And then the trigger key options for the fastest measurements of distance and coordinates. And this is a display panel, dry batch for doing the instrument leveling and centering, and the optical and laser plummet for the to locate the ground point in the field. And as well as the next point is horizontal and vertical movement. Tangent knobs will be provided over here, and these are all the knobs which you can able to move the instrument horizontal positions and the vertical positions. And it has been also provided with the lock and fine motions. And there is a high precision electronic level also built in the instrument panel, instrument display. So this is the display component. This is the main appearance of the. So the instrument idiom will be part will be fixed in the telescope portion. So this instrument has a capacity to measure distance up to 6 kilometer range. So it's an advanced EDM technology. So where there is a facility to measure the distance up to 6 kilometer range, and with an accuracy of 1.5 mm plus 2 ppm. So this is the normally you can find the accuracy in this particular mode only 1.5 mm. This is plus 2 ppm. That means if you measure up to 1 kilometer range, your accuracy limit will be approximately 3.5 mm. So that is the accuracy level which you can able to perform in the distance measurement with total stations. So for 1 kilometer range, you can cover. If you measure, your readings will be approximately around 3.5 kilometers. So that is the thing you have to calculate the distance. So basically, in distance measurement, normally in survey applications, maximum you can cover up to 300 meters to 1 to 2 kilometers range only. It is possible to measure the distance. Normally, in the basic city environments and other conditions and all. So for high range distance, normally for the 6 kilometers range and all, mainly you can able to cover at mining environment. The mining mainly there is a very open vast area. In that area, you can able to cover maximum range of 6 kilometers range. You can cover in that. So the next thing is the reflectorless measurement. So in the reflectorless measurements is instrument uses a laser technology. So in the prism mode, that instrument uses the IR rays. So infrared rays means it emits the infrared rays. The rays goes travels up to the prism and get reflected back. So based on that only it calculates the distance. That is the normal conventional method measurement of distance. So the latest technology is reflectorless measurements. So reflectorless measurements, you can sight any object without any prisms and all. It's not required. You can sight any object directly up to a range of 1 kilometer. It measures the distance. And more second thing, if you want to measure in the laser technology, you have to see the uh, object, what type of object you are covering the measuring the distance. If the surface is around a very blackish and very dark surface, your distance measurement capacity field will be accuracy will be dropped. So if you are sighting at a 300 meters range, if you are covering the surface of the point is almost very dark, it's a blacky surface, so you can't get the distance on the dark surfaces. So if the surface is very light and reflective, so you can cover up to a range of 1 kilometer range in the reflectorless mode. The same way, you can get an accuracy of reflectorless measurement will be 2 mm plus 2 ppm. So this is the normal accuracy range which you can able to cover in the distance measurement in the reflectorless option. So the next slide, I am going to the battery conditions. So normally battery, if you are going to carry, you can, it will works for the 21 hours. 21 hours is the normal battery working and operating hours. So when you are going to the survey, you need the battery which can able to work from morning to evening till end of the day which you are completing the survey work. So you need a huge battery operating hours you require. So some batteries are there, it will use only for 4 hours. So with that, it will not helps you to continue the survey till full day. So you have to carry an additional battery also together to complete the full day work. But we are normally providing with the higher capacity battery, which will provide you up to 21 hours minimum in the normal mode. And of course, if you are going for the reflectorless mode, then the battery consumption will be little more. So instead of 21 hours, the likely it will get come down maybe to 18 hours like that. So better you can go with the higher capacity battery, which can give you minimum 20 to 24 hours capacity, which is required for doing the survey work. And there is an option also we are providing to have external battery. So this is the internal battery which can work for 21 hours minimum, and we have an option to carry an external battery also. So this external battery mainly useful whenever you are going to a survey, the very remote area where there is don't have any power facility for charging the battery. So that time you have to carry these external batteries. So external batteries also you have to consider whenever if you are going to a survey with a very remote area like forest area and all. If you are go, so that one battery is not sufficient. So you have to carry an additional power source for charging the battery, or you have to keep a additional power for continuing your survey work. And there is an option also we have, you can you can use automobile batteries also to operate the instrument. So we'll give a separate cable for that cable you can connect it to the external batteries like automobile batteries. With that kind of battery also you can use it for the total station. So this is the batteries which is very required for the operating the instruments. And then this is the common thing which I want to tell you, operating system. So normally the operating system, two operating systems are there in the instruments. One is Linux based and the Windows based. So the Linux based system with it will comes normally with a conventional type total station. So these entry level total stations, if you are buying, your operating systems will be the Linux format only. And if you go for the advanced one, then you will have a Windows format. So the basic difference in Linux and Windows format, I will just tell you. So Linux format, all the data will be recorded in the manufacturer's own format. So every manufacturers, they have their own format. In that format only, the data will be recorded in memory. So after that, the data you have to take it into the computer PC, and then you have to use the communication software. That is a data transfer software you can tell. So data transfer software will convert their manufacturer's own format, what they are giving with that format to the what are the format which you required for processing, like drawing format, Excel format. So like that, this processing software is that communication software is essential to convert the SDR way normal preferred manufacturers preferred software format to the required format which you can able to convert. That is the normal Linux format which you are providing. And Windows based instruments ROS have is coming with the basic inbuilt itself. There is a software which can able to convert the data in whichever format which you prefer. That is If you want to take the data in AutoCAD format, you can possible to do it AutoCAD conversions and all in the instrument display itself. At the same time, you can convert that data in Excel format also, you can convert it in the display. So you no need to go take the equipment to the computer and do the conversions and everything. So all the conversion can be done in the instrument display itself. So that will be possible only if you are using a software with Windows operating system. So that is very essential and advanced software for the data conversion. So these are all the two software operating systems available in the instrument. So conventional type and the Windows type. So then the equipment comes with the internal memory. So what are the data you are recording in the field? So that will saves in the memory, internal memory. So in the internal memory, it has a capacity of 50,000 points. So 50,000 points means one point can store your point number, your coordinates, northing, easting, elevation, then your code. So these are all the data which you can able to store it, record it in one point. So if you're telling one point means that it will give you the point identification number, your coordinates like northing, easting, elevation, or you can give you the angle and distance also. So angle and distance and the reference name of the point, that is code. So these data you can able to see in the record in the memory points. So that is the memory. So total capacity is 50,000 points. So every instruments if you have that is having a minimum capacity is 50,000 points. So the 50,000 points, once it is full, then what you have to do, you have to transfer the data to the pen drive. This is memory, external memory. Either you can go for the USB port, you can go for the pen drive, you can copy the data. So once if you copy the data, then you need to delete that point. So then only your memory will be get free for the to store the next recorded points. You can store it on that. So that is the memory capacity which any instrument, any total station should have on that. And second thing, the USB features. So this USB means pen drive is the main thing with external source which you can able to transfer the internal memory data to the system. So that pen drive you use only a specific capacity only. That is supports only 32 GB. So any instrument it use, it has a capacity. The maximum you have to use only 32 GB pen drive only for doing the data transfer and processing. So if you use higher capacity pen drive, that won't support the total station system. So you have to use the maximum of 32 GB pen drive only. You can able to use it for the data transfer from your internal memory to the pen drive. So that is the USB additional external data memory source. And then we have the dual axis compensation system. So dual axis compensator is that the instrument has an electronic sensor provided in the instrument. So in the to check the angle, horizontal vertical angle, whether it is perfectly leveled or not. If there is any deviation and any errors, if you can able to, I notice that is you are level the equipments with the help of the level plate levels and circular levels, and after leveling also there would be some slight tilt in the horizontal and vertical movement. So that tilt will be sensed by the sensor. That sensor will read okay how many level of inclination is there in your horizontal and vertical angle. So that inclination will be that error will be corrected automatically in the instrument display. So for example, the display, if your angle is displaying some 90 degrees in the instrument display, means that has been corrected readings which is exactly to the your original axis. So with that axis only it will show. So if any error in the inclination is there in your horizontal angle, that error will automatically gets corrected, and that corrected value is only displayed in the screen. So that is the dual axis compensator system, which is having a built-in in all total station. So you no need to do the exact 0 leveling. So some people say that they will do the leveling with the bubbles up to 0 level. So whenever you rotate it also, there will be some disturbance will be there. So the type of errors and all, it will get eliminated with this particular feature. So when you do leveling also, you don't need to worry about any level disturbance and all, there is a limit is there, so up to 6 minutes. So whenever there is a disturbance of the angle up to 6 minutes, that error will be automatically get corrected in the instrument reading. So your readings will be more accurate, even though there is any tilt in the survey work when you are doing it. And in between you are doing, if any disturbance is coming, that error will be automatically gets corrected, and it shows the exact reading only on that. So this is the dual access compensation program, which is built in, available in all total stations. And second thing, there is a branded onboard programs. So you have a very branded onboard programs for doing stakeouts and cross sections always, and to view the AutoCAD maps in the display, and you can also cross check the data with your existing design data with the actuals in the field. So those data and all you can able to cross check in the instrument display itself. Some instruments and the conventional instruments and all, what you have to, the instrument will give only the displays, only the coordinates, actually what you are measuring in the field, but you don't know whether it is the correct coordinate or if any deviation with the designed one. So for that and all, you need a separate software is there. With that you can able to get cross check in the field itself with whether the design data and your actual data is getting matched or not. So like that, there are some more branded programs and all, it's available in the instruments, so which will be useful to do the survey work much faster. So the next one is Bluetooth connectivity. So here, Bluetooth facility, you can, whatever the instrument display, it displays in the instrument, so that you can pair it with some external device like PC, tablets, mobiles, everything. You can able to pair the whatever the instrument is getting displayed. So that display you can able to pair it, and you can view from in the remote places, which is around at a distance of 10 meters. So for example, this Bluetooth facility will be very much useful in the indoor applications, mainly for the industrial purpose. So in industrial purpose, so this equipment will be fixed in some remote location, and they will maintain an access, and the instrument will be fixed in one. What I can tell you, one remote, you can't able to access the instrument and all from the at that particular point. So what they will do, they will keep the equipment in the remote way, and they will pair this instrument display to an external other external device, and with that device they can monitor the take the measurements and all. They can able to take it, and they can display in the remote places. So that is the way it is to pair only the display to another device only they can use for the Bluetooth option. Then secondary is temperature. So this equipment is designed to use from minus 20 degrees, sorry, minus 20 degrees actually. So minus 20 degrees centigrade to plus 60 degrees centigrade. So any atmosphere level, this equipment can be capable to work. So if you go for any extreme weather condition also in the field of snows and everything, you can able to work minus 20-degree level also it will work. And if you are working in extreme weather conditions in mining and very hot areas, like that, it will cover up to 60 degrees temperature range. You can able to cover it. 1 minute, sir. So the dust and water protection also is there. So up to IP66 waterproof protection is there. So if it will be protected again any drizzling. If, for example, if your survey work is you are doing the survey work, then suddenly there is a rain spells and all is there, dristlings and all is there. So that time it will protect. So this is not fully imposed with the water, but it will protect against the drizzling. So that much you can go for the waterproof, and also it will be a dust proof also. If you are working with at a very mining environment and everything, that particular time, even if any dust conditions also, this will be protected against dust also. So you can use it at any environment. This equipment can be used. And second thing, we have an advanced feature called trigger key. So the equipment is provided with the trigger key option in this. The trigger key is only helpful for doing the fastest measurements you can take it. So normally, if you are taking a reading, so you have to sight the telescope, then you have to see the display. In the display, there is a measure key is there. You have to press the measure key, and then instrument will record the data, and then you have to give the point numbers and sorry, code and everything. You have to input it. So this is the normal procedure in the conventional instruments. But if in advanced instrument you have this trigger key option is there. So in this trigger key, what you can able to use it means just sight the object and press this key. So this automatically it will records the reading, and you can it will be ready for the next point. So this way in the color system something is coming. Yeah. So this way this trigger key will be very useful whenever you are doing the contour work and faster topographical survey. So that type of surveying and all, you can use this trigger key option. So trigger key will increases your speed on surveying. And there is the another option is called the tangent screw system. So this is the we have an horizontal and vertical movement that will be provided with a tangent knob. The tangent knob will be, you can set the knob, you can lock it that horizontal movement, then you can go with the fine measurements for the instead horizontal and vertical movements. So next one is the guide light system. So this feature is very much helpful while doing the setting out work in the construction in field applications. So normally in construction application, you wanted to they have the coordinates, that coordinate has to be marked in the ground. So what the people will do, normally the conventional people, what they will do, they will input the coordinate to the total station, and the total station you will move it to the required direction, and you will lock the horizontal movement. So after that, what you will do is you will guide the person who is holding the prism. So you have to keep guiding the person who is holding the prism to go right way or left way. So so your prison person has to listen for the wait for the instruction from the operator whether you have to move for right direction or left direction. So that is the only common thing which in the conventional people conventionally you have to do that. But this guide light system, if you can switch on the guide light system, there is a two lights will be provided. Green light and red light is there. If the person who is having the prism, if he can see the green light means he has to go towards the right direction, and if the person, if it is in the left side, and if he can able it will be visible, red light will be visible, then he has to come to the negative left side. So this guide light features it will very much helpful when you are doing the stakeouts, and the person who is carrying the prism, he no need to wait for the operator's instruction to come to that exact point. So on seeing this light, he can move around which direction he has to go, and then he can identify the right direction, and he can able to achieve the distance, achieve the point directly. Okay, so then we have an high precision electronic level. So these equipments will be having the very high precision level. So normally in the conventional total stations and all, and transit theodolized and optical levels, you can find there is a two type of levels will be there. One is electronic, that is a plate level and circular level. So circular level for the rough centering and plate level for the precise leveling. So these are all the two levels you need to adjust. So in plate level, what you'll do, you have to keep the plate level parallel to two foot screws, make it center, then turn 180 degrees, then 90 degrees, and then third, they adjust the third foot screw. So this is the normal practice in the conventional total stations you have to do. But in advanced total stations, which you are coming up with the electronic level, With the electronic level, it's graphically it is shows your level in minutes, in seconds. So it will show, it will displace which direction you have to go. You have to go for the horizontal movement or for the right XY movement and all. It will shows graphically, and with this graphical, in one position you can level the instrument to the up to the 0 seconds. You can do that leveling adjustments and all everything. So basically, these are all the accessories which may not be commonly used for the total stations. So the total stations, normally you need to use the wooden tripod. So advisable is wooden tripod. So most of the people will carry the aluminum one. So avoid using aluminum tripods. Aluminum tripods is not so maybe user friendly to carry the equipment, but it's not more precise in the when you are doing the leveling work and all. So it won't absorb the level vibrations and all. But in wooden tripods is more advisable, and it will absorbs the vibrations and everything. So you can use it. So this is the prism assemblies which normally it will be used. So this prisms and all, you can cover up to 6 kilometer range with this prism. So this is mainly used for this having topographical survey and all. You can use it, the pole with the prism. And this is the mini prism with short poles. So this mini prism is very much useful only for doing the setting out work. So pole prisms, you can go for the topographical, and this prisms is only for the construction setting out activities. You can go with this mini prisms. So mainly for the marking purpose and all, there's a small rod is there. So you can use it in the tip of the mini prism, and directly you can fix it in the ground, so that your leveling accuracy the stakeout point accuracy will be much higher, and faster also you can perform. So mini prisms is main commonly used for construction field for setting out only. And these are all the reflective sheets also, which is more essential in total station accessories. So these sheets, it can be fixed in the permanent points. So for example, if you are have any permanent locations in the construction field, so these sheets and all, you can paste it in the any walls and any objects, any structures, you can fix it. So for that applications, you can use these reflective sheets. This is the traverse prism assembly. So this is traverse prism assembly is mainly when you are going for a topographical survey. So this traverse prism assembly is more essential. So main topographical survey, what you have to do, you will be going a survey for the very huge area for more than acres of land you will be going to survey. For that, you may need to put so much of change points. So you will start with one particular station, and you will be conducted when you are completing the station with almost more than 25 to 35 stations, you will shift it up. So that time when you are shifting the station, that is your point. When you are using the pole prism, so your accuracy levels will be dropped, will be increased, sorry, and will be generated. So if we use this traverse and prism set for changing this station, your error will be minimized. So what in this case means, you once if you set the instrument centering and leveling, and after that you no need to uh, disturb the settings. So you can have to interchange your total station and the prism assembly. So only remove the prism part, or you have to leave the tripod and tri-batch in the instrument in the position itself. Only you have to exchange it only the prism and as well as the total station. So if you can exchange, your error will be more minimized, and your accuracy will be more higher when you are completing the when you are doing the traverse survey mainly. So now these are all the basic on-road programs which will be available in the conventional all total stations. So these on-road programs like mainly for the height measurements, coordinate measurements. Coordinate measurements is more commonly used in all total station survey. So if any total station survey, if you are performing, the coordinate system is the must be followed with all survey data. So that is northing, easting, elevation. So this coordinate data only will be we are being using for all topographical surveys and everything. And then setting out measurements. Setting out measurements, as I told you. So for any construction field, normally you there is a design data will be provided in the Excel format. So that points and all normally you have to mark it in the field. So for that you have to use this setting out function. So once if you input the points which is required to be setting out, so that will be the direction will be provided in the system, and you to achieve the point where you want to do surveys. So same way you can go for the distance setting out, arc setting out. So you can define an arc. In that arc, what distance you wanted to mark the point. So that is arc setting out, and then set out line. So if you have to define a baseline, from the baseline, how much point you wanted to go for the offset from one baseline. Right side how much what point you want to correct, and left side how much you want to go for it. So like that you can go for setting out line function and point projection. So after this point, from one after one the baseline, you want to increase the baseline, means that is point projection function. So that function is there. And topographical observations, then offset measurements, some points which you can't able to view through that prism directly, there is a obstruction will be in between. So in that case what you have to do, you can take an offset point from the actually what where you wanted to measure. So and you have to measure the distance of the point to the offset. So like that you can do for the offset measurements. And missing line measurements, the missing line measurement is nothing like the distance between the 2 points. Then surface area calculations, area calculation. Intersection is the point line intersection. So if you are two lines is coming, then where that point meets, where that line meets, so that is intersection, point intersection. Then the traverse adjustment program is